Hello, gamers. First journal of the year, as it were. I'm playing a good variety of things. Started the year off with Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. It was okay. Basically, it plays like a typical Ratchet and Clank game, but they have that PlayStation stank where they try to make a big spectacle of things, so meh. They also recycled a lot of enemies throughout every level. Whereas like the older games, you get like unique guys in each level for the most part. In Rift Apart, you're seeing like the same 8 guys the entire game, which was kind of lame. And like some of those I feel were just recycled from the movie game. Like they just had the assets laying around, so they decided to reuse amoeboids and sand sharks. But without much context, I suppose you can stretch and say, oh, it's because of all the dimensional rifts and whatnot. It just doesn't have the same teeth as the old games either, with its writing and jokes. I'd give the game probably 6 out of 10. And mind you, that's on an actual review score, not a game journalist score. So that's above average, but it's not great, but it's not awful either. It's okay. I give it like half a thumbs up, I guess you could say. Like if you would just want to have a new Ratchet and Clank game. Other than that, Path of Exile 2, just playing more characters, not really much to say there. Yeah, my nose is getting all snotty. Yeah, don't know why. Anyways, Path of Exile 2, played a bunch of that, nothing really significant or new. I played like a butt ton last month, and I enjoyed it to bits. And this month, the hype is down, but I still enjoy it. Elden Ring Convergence. I took some time and tinkered around and got it to finally work right. The game, though. Like, it gives you a lot of freedom to run around. Like, you can jump into the DLC pretty early. But, like, there's a lot of weird decisions. Like, you can choose to go to any of the minor Erd trees, and you never know what's going to be on the other side. You just pop out, and then suddenly you're trapped inside of a level 200 boss fight. It's wild. I like some of the new things they put into it. It's pretty neat. But there's one thing I noticed, and that's they put in like a bajillion new buff spells. And I know people love to do the buff up boogie in Elden Ring to trivialize bosses, but remember, using spirit summons is a noob thing. Anyway, that's a whole other matter. I don't like doing the buff up boogie. It's boring. I hate it. But like every spell class has like a million new different buffs that you can apply. And they also have them alongside the original buffs. And like buffs in Dark Souls games and Elden Ring, they aren't meant to last forever. They last like typically like 30 seconds to a minute on average. But the ones they put in to Convergence last... See, I think the bestial vitality that you get starting as the Beast Shaman, it lasts, I think, 3 minutes of regen, which is a really long time. And they just have ridiculous buffs like that, and I don't really like that too much, but they do remix a lot of things. And I find that pretty cool. Like the dungeons, there's whole new ways to go through it, or they append new things. But then they also add in their own little bosses, and something I find consistent among Dark Souls mods is that players like to think super duper over the top freight train enemies are the coolest things ever. So you're going through this level 10 area, then suddenly this boss with like 500,000 HP shows up, and you're just 12ing him to death, and it's like, this isn't fun or interesting. This is just tedious. And they also like bloated the HP bars of pre-existing bosses too, like Godric the Grafted. Or it's like, why is this taking so long? And he's just like, he has like twice the HP or something. It's really annoying. Like, guys, you can make more interesting things, more challenging things, rather than just like going and saying, hey, this boss fight's too short normally, let's pad it out with nothing interesting. I don't care for it. It's not like players aren't going to want to just burn past what's old anyway, so like, why are you making it more tedious? But yeah, I got bored of it eventually. I just put it down because it's like, nah man, this ain't it. It is in beta, so maybe they'll rebalance things by the time they finally finish the mod, but we'll see. Alright, and speaking of Souls, Dark Souls 2, I played through a lot of that again. I've made my Hex character, and it's been interesting, as best I can put it. Uh, trying to put this into words. Like, main game bosses I haven't really struggled with too much, except for, like, Ruin Sentinel. But, like, DLC bosses are still absolute bullshit. Possibly even more so, since I have to rely on limited ammo. But, like, I get to the Ivory King, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't have the patience for this. I haven't done the Sunken Crown, though. Didn't get that far before I put down the game. I am currently at the, like, Royal Tomb, where you get the King Ring at. So I'm, like, a good portion through the story. But, like, I don't know. It's been okay. I still don't get what people have against the game, though. Yeah, it can be a little jank at times, but let's not lie to ourselves. Dark Souls 1 can be jank as well, and Demon's Souls especially. Yeah, I had fun with that when I was playing it at the start of the month. And then Indigo Park, I gave that a try. The thing that's caused furries everywhere to go nuts for another thing of mascot horror. It was okay. There's not much to say beside that. Like, there are a few puzzles. I like the little arcade mini game. I like looking for little trinkets around the park that gives you little bits of trivia. But it's just one chapter right now. I think they're supposed to be releasing chapter 2 soon-ish, but I don't know when. And I don't know if Chapter 2 is going to be paid, or if they're just going to make the whole game to be free. I'm not caught up on the development lore. But I wish the best for it. I know some people are tired of the mascot horror genre, because a lot of them tend to be slop. I don't feel like Indigo Park was slop, though. It felt interesting enough. And one of the things that I found interesting was that it's... Because when I encountered the parrot creature thing, it didn't realize it was popping out of this spot, and so it killed me. And then on, like, the screen saying, like, a tip is that the parrot can apparently mimic voices. That didn't come into play inside of that chapter, so now I'm wondering, is she going to, like, show up again later, and she'll try to say things like rambly to trap you? I'm curious. But, I suppose the future will tell. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. I gave that a spin again. And my opinion of it has diminished. Not having too much fun with it anymore. I've since uninstalled. But one of the things I was getting annoyed with the game was that enemies were becoming progressively bullet spongy, and I thought, maybe my guns are just under leveled. And I look, and the gun is my level, so I'm like, well, this doesn't make sense. And then I noticed that enemies constantly scale to your level. That is not a mechanic that is often done well in games. And Tiny Tina's Wonderland is no exception. Do you know how annoying, how frustrating it is? Like, Fallout 4, one of the biggest things people complain about that game is that the level scaling just makes it feel like you're not getting any stronger. You're just constantly getting weaker as enemies get tankier and tankier. And that's the same way in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Whereas, like, I'm not feeling like I'm getting any stronger with my weapons and spells. I'm just struggling. Trying to keep going forward, but now it takes my entire inventory to kill one guy. Like, it does not feel good. So, after enough of that bullshit, I just gave up. Turned it off, uninstalled. Yume Nikki. Another one of those horror games. This is a fairly older one. Can't remember if it's like 2001 or 1999. It's a very, very old RPG Maker sort of game. Well, I wouldn't call it horror exactly. It's more surreal than anything. It's got cute moments. Eventually, something weird happened with it to where, like, I could no longer actually play the game. Like, for some reason, it was not picking up on my keyboard controls or controller controls. So I had to reinstall the game, but I haven't picked it up again since. But, like, I liked poking around, finding things, solving some puzzles. It is an experience. That's a good way of putting it. Borderlands 1. Played more of that. Yeah, I finished the main game on NG+, or round 2, whatever you want to call it. Currently in the Zombie Island of Dr. Ned DLC. Not much interesting to say. I haven't really gotten any new interesting guns or anything. Diablo 1! My viewers voted, and so I played through Diablo 1. It is pretty decent. I can see how people really got into it. Unfortunately, Meow's hands aren't the best, so all the clicking you gotta do for Diablo 1 did make it hard for me to get through the game, but I eventually made it through, just playing for like a couple hours each stream before my hand got too inflamed. Some of the more intense bosses irritated my hand more than others, but it is what it is. Red Dead Redemption 2. Finally booted up that game. It's pretty neat. Little cowboy sim. I've not gotten too far into the story. I kind of just got distracted, just running around hunting animals, playing the game more like a Cabela's than probably what they want me to do, but hey, I'm having fun. Robo Ride and Glide. The first playtest finally went live. Robo Ride and Glide is an indie game made in a vein of like Kirby Air Ride's City Trial. And I have to say, I feel a bit bad for the guy making it, because he's been making this for years. I've been following him for a very, very long time. And then suddenly Nintendo just plops Kirby Air Riders out, and it's good. So it's like, dude, oh man, I'm so sorry for you. Because, like, if this came out sooner, he probably would have gotten a lot more attention, because people who are fond of the game would probably want to play it. But now that Nintendo's put their official one, I'm afraid of it getting like the stink eye from people being like, "Oh, this is just a copycat. Nobody needs to play this." This is not true, because like Robo Ride and Glide, actually getting into my experiences with it so far, with the playtest, it's actually pretty dang fun. Like, it is, as it says on the tin, it's basically just like inspired by City Trial, and you can queue up in lobbies with random peeps, play with different people, and just run around various stages. There's like I think in the test there were 2 different maps you could go to. And there are various events that occur. Like if you played City Trial, you get the idea. You're supposed to run around trying to collect power-ups and get ready for the events that take place after the City Trial, which were also pretty fun. There are someone over my words. There's also like some extra modes, like target cracking thing, where you're basically racing against the clock to break all the targets on a map. The gameplay is really nice, and I hope that it can get a good audience, a proper audience. Hopefully get some good indie game, I don't know what you want to call him. Like, real life fake wizard. He likes to put a spotlight onto indie games. Like, if that can catch eyes of people like that, I think it would do good. But, I like it. It's cute. You can customize your little driver. My personal favorite glider was the froggy one, because when you do your brake boost, you jump, which is pretty fun. Yeah, I give it a thumbs up. The playtest, I don't think it's still going on, but I look forward to the next playtest, and of course the eventual release of the game. Like I said, I've been watching it for years. I'm very interested to see how it turns out. Next up, Dark Souls 3 Convergence. Meh. I played through it sometime back. Well, not through it, but a good part of it. Playing with... I don't remember what the name of it is, but like the whole shtick was thorns. They add thorn magic so you can coat yourself in thorns, and my main method attack is just rolling into the enemies. That was pretty fun back then, but as I've tried out other characters like the Wretch, they put all of its stats to 1, and you get one shot by like anything for some reason, which is not grand. Your weapons are the Soul Fist, which is interesting, but again, not good. It's very meh. And I eventually got tired of him, scrapped him, started again as a Wind Wizard, because I thought, hey, maybe something interesting will happen with this. No. There are 2 wind spells I have encountered so far, and they're just wind-flavored versions of the Soul Sword and Soul Arrow, basically. That's it. There's nothing else so far. I mean, surely there's going to be more as I move along, but I haven't been jiving. You know, it doesn't help that I don't like Dark Souls 3. But it's another one of those mods that's highly praised. Should you give it a go? Yeah, sure, why not? If you like Dark Souls 3, then absolutely. It has all sorts of nifty things, like the stuff going on with Elden Ring Convergence, pretty much the same in Dark Souls 3 Convergence. Just in Dark Souls 3. But hey, at least there's not 500 million buff spells, you know. And lastly on the list for this month, Terraria. Reddit came out of nowhere and said, hey, the Power World update, hidden live, baby. And here it is. There's been a lot of new things for summoners. It's really cool, like things like the Cob Whip, which is an early game whip you can make, and it summons a little spider minion for a brief period of time that doesn't count as part of your minion count, but it acts as a minion. There's, of course, the one they showed off some time ago, the Slime Whip, which sets enemies on fire. There's they've added Power World stuff. I've only found 2 things so far, plus the cosmetic PAL armor you can buy from the Traveling Merchant. I've only found Chillette, which is a mount that moves pretty fast and has a dash, which is pretty cool. I do like dashes. And the other one was Dig Toys, which acts more like a deployable drill sort of deal. Yeah, and he's been really useful. He's like as strong as a silver pickaxe, and you can make him dig to the sides or down. So, like, you want an easy elevator, there you go. I've been sinking a lot of time into that recently, so. But that's I still have a lot of things to discover in the new Terraria update. I've been doing like a lot of building. There's a lot of new cosmetic stuff, decorative blocks and things that I've been enjoying using. And There's like a lot of little buffs here and there for all sorts of stuff I've been noticing. It's been a very nice update. So, thank you all for listening. Lord willing, see you in February, where I will be blathering about other things. Potential stuff. I'm probably going to be talking more about Terraria, about more things I discover. I've got the demo for Bubsy 4D downloaded that I want to give a spin. I've got Dead Space 1 and 2. That's a fear that I could try. I am running out of steam. Not the game client, but the metaphorical steam. I'm tired. Peace out.